Dear friends and students, I am Nakul. Welcome to Math Study Center. From thumbnail, you already know what I will discuss in this video. I have discussed every section very well, which will be very helpful for all of you. So watch this video from first to last. If this video helps you even a little bit, give a thumbs up, leave your comment and share this video with all of your friends. Okay, let's start our discussion.
Well, in this chapter of indefinite integral, these are the following topics which are kept in your class 12 as well as your joint entrance examination syllabus. In this first video, I will discuss topic number 1, topic number 2 and topic number 3. In second video, I will discuss topic number 4 and topic number 5. In third video, I will discuss this topic, and in fourth video, I will discuss this topic, and in fifth video, I will discuss this topic, and in sixth video, I will discuss this topic, and in video number 7, I will discuss this topic, that is integral of some particular functions. And this chapter containing 8 to 10 marks in your board exam. Okay. Now in this first video, I will discuss classification of calculus and definition of primitive or antiderivative or integral, and example with explanation and definition of integration. Then I will discuss concept of indefinite integral and the geometrical interpretation of indefinite integral. Okay. But before starting discussion, I want to mention 3 things. Number 1, watch this video in at least 720p and in 1.25x speed so that you need a little bit less time to finish this video. And second, most of content of this video has taken from NCERT, R.D. Sharma and many other sources. Third, everything I will discuss has already been written on screen. I will just explain them one by one. So read them well, which are already written on screen, and follow my discussion. That will be enough. Okay. Let's start our discussion. Now, classification of calculus. Calculus is classified into 2 sections. Number 1, integral calculus, and number 2, differential calculus. Integral calculus again classified into 2 sections. Number 1, indefinite integration, and number 2, definite integration. In case of indefinite integration, this is our indefinite integration where f of x plus c is called primitive or integral of this integration, and here small f of x is called integrand. Here c is called constant of integration. And in case of definite integration, there is this is called lower limit of integration and this is called upper limit of integration. If capital F of x is primitive of small f of x, then by fundamental theorem of integral calculus we will have integration of a to b f of x dx is equal to capital F of b minus capital F of a. Okay, and there are some application in both of indefinite integration as well as definite integration. Clear? Now a natural question that arises in our mind is, what is primitive? Definition of primitive is a function phi x is called primitive or antiderivative or an integral of a function small f x if this condition holds. Phi dot x is equal to f of x, that is d dx of phi x is equal to f of x. Then this function phi x is called primitive of this function small f of x. Okay, there is an explanation with example. This function x to the power 4 divided by 4 is primitive of x cube, because if we take derivative d dx of x to the power 4 by 4, we will have x cube. That means this x to the power 4 by 4 is equal to phi x and x cube is equal to f of x. Clear? So we will have, if we take derivative of phi x, then we will have small f of x. Okay, here this symbol split is called symbol of integration, and this small fx is called integrand. Dx is called element of integration, and here the totals capital Fx plus c is called primitive or antiderivative or integral, and this capital C is called constant of integration. Okay, now have a look. There is an important note. Let phi be a primitive of a function fx and c be any constant. Then obviously ddx of phi x plus c, we will have derivative phi dot x, and we know phi dot x is equal to small f of x. That means phi x plus c is also a primitive of small f of x. So we can conclude that if a function small fx possesses a primitive, then it possesses infinitely many primitives which contain the same expression phi x plus c, where c is a constant. And if we choose different values of c, then we will have different kind of curve which are belonging to same family. For example, x to the power 4 by 4 and x to the power 4 by 4 plus 2, x to the power 4 by 4 minus 1, etc. are the primitive of x cube, because when we take derivatives of x to the power 4 by 4 or x to the power 4 by 4 plus 2, x to the power 4 by 4 minus 1, we will have this result x cube. So all of those are primitive of x cube. Okay. Now indefinite integral. Definition of indefinite integral is, let fx be a function, then the family of all primitives or antiderivatives is called the indefinite integral of f of x, and it is denoted by this. And this symbol is written as indefinite integral of fx with respect to x. Okay, so ddx of phi x plus c is equal to f of x. This implies if we take integration of f of x is equal to phi x plus c. Here c is called integrating constant or constant of integration. Here small fx is called integrand and phi x plus c is called integral or primitive or antiderivative of f of x. Clear? Now the definition of integration is the process of finding an indefinite integral of a given function is called integration of the function. Okay, that means integrating of a function small fx means finding a function phi such that derivative of the phi, that means ddx of phi x is equal to fx. This condition holds. Okay, now geometrical interpretation of indefinite integral. Let fx is equal to 2x, then integration of f of x dx, obviously x square plus c, where c is called integrating constant or constant of integration. These integrals y is equal to x square plus c is a family of parabola with its axis along y axis. Now if we choose different values of c, c is equal to 0, c is equal to plus 1, c is equal to plus 2, c is equal to plus 3, or c is equal to minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, then we will have a family of parabolas. For c is equal to 0, we will have y is equal to x square, and the equation of y is equal to x square is this parabola which is passing through 0, 0 point and origin is its vertex. Now for c is equal to 1, equation of parabola is this x square plus 1. This is the curve of the x square plus 1 parabola whose vertex is 0, 1 point. For for c is equal to 2, our equation of parabola is this x square plus 2, and vertex of this parabola is this 0, 2 point. For x is equal to 3, vertex of the parabola is 0, 3. Similarly, for x is equal to minus 1, equation of parabola is this, and vertex of this parabola is 0, minus 1 point. And for c is equal to minus 2, our equation of parabola is this, and vertex of this parabola is 0, minus 2. Similarly, for c is equal to minus 3, vertex of the parabola is 0, minus 3. So for each positive value of c, each of the parabola of the family has its vertex on the positive side of the y-axis, and for each of negative value of c, we will have a family of parabolas whose vertex along negative side of y-axis. Okay, so we can conclude that integral of an integrand represents a family of curves. Okay, for next video, follow this.
So dear friends and students, if this video helps you even a little bit, give a thumbs up, leave your comment and share this video with all of your friends. Okay, until next video, stay well, stay safe, tata.